Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, dissatisfaction is the mother of change. Right. It's natural. If you have something in your life that you are dissatisfied with, it's natural to make a change.
Right.
Or to at least try to make a change.
Yes, sir.
We can see that in many areas in life. But this dissatisfaction with the imperfection of self, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said at a certain point there would have to be the manifestation of that imperfection where it would be able to express itself, that we could see the fullness of it and correct it. And that is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said ultimately brought about races on our planet. For it was the imperfection in ourselves that was to be given form and expression, and through one of us, a contrary and a new people were produced on our planet in the white race. That's what he taught us. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, we cannot deny that their rule on this planet has brought about tremendous dissatisfaction. Their rule in America in particular has brought about tremendous dissatisfaction in America and outside of America. And what we can see from this, brothers and sisters, in a basic way, is that it is the contrary rule that is away from God, that is in opposition to God's will and His word, that has produced the dissatisfaction in this world. For it is suffering, it is war, it is bloodshed that is the order of the day. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All you have to do, if you don't see, is go and check out how many mass shootings have there been this year. More mass shootings than days in the year. What is the drug rate in the black community, in the brown, in the white community? What is the depression rate? What is the dissatisfaction in the world today? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it is 100%. And that dissatisfaction, he said, will bring about a 100% change. That dissatisfaction that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said brings about a change. It is something from our very nature, and he said it is that which ultimately calls forth the one who is to make all things new. For if we have a desire for a change, as we talked about earlier, that law in our nature, God responds to that. And so his coming to change our reality is not limited just to us. The Bible says of that last one, he says, behold, I make all things new.
That's right.
And if he comes to make all things new, that means he's dissatisfied with everything.
Right.
You come out and you dress and you think, you look good, and somebody says, hey, you need to change all that. Take all of that off. Shoes, shirt, everything. That means that all of it is dissatisfactory. Is that right? So the God is saying, behold, I'm coming to make all things new. That means everything must see a change. Everything must be improved. And that is the case that we are in right now. That's the time that we are in. We are in the time of the very change of worlds altogether.
Yes, sir.
This is what brings about what is talked about in the traditions, the coming of the Messiah. Or is talked about in Islam as the coming of the Mahdi. That he would come at a time where tyranny and oppression would be the order of the day, and he would come to set justice in the earth and bring on an entirely new reality. But he also comes to reacquaint us with something about ourselves. That we will come to exercise the power that's lying up inside of us. The things that interest us when we see the movies about telepathy and time travel and the ability to vision and all of these things that are like superpowers in a movie, but they really are something that is a potential inside of us.
Go ahead, good teaching.
It's not just for Marvel and DC. It was received from what they learned of the powers that we once exercised.
Right, go ahead.
For when they came to study among our fathers and mothers in Egypt, they didn't call them niggas. They said, I'm going into the valley of the gods.
Go ahead.
And they came back with geometry, algebra, mathematics, and science from us in Egypt. They learned all of that from the gods, and that's you. We are the descendants of those people, but we have forgotten everything that we once knew.
Right.
We have forgotten the architecture, the mathematics, the science, all of that. We don't know how we built those pyramids, but that came from us.
That's right.
And they know that it came from us, but they can't give you the credit. They got to say, man, aliens had to help these guys out.
Right.
It had to be some Martians, Venus, somebody. But it can't be these people that we have dominated and have gained mastery over. But we have to know, brothers and sisters, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we left those pyramids as a small sign of the great power that we once had.
Right.
And we have greater civilizations under the sand, in the ocean, that are buried in the earth. That in the right time they'll be made manifest and you will become reacquainted with who we really are. We're in the process of that now. The Messiah comes to bring the people back that knowledge and reacquaint them with themselves. And so in that, we are taught that he brings on a whole new time period. The Bible closes talking about a man named Elijah in the Old Testament, and then opens up talking about Jesus in the New Testament. And it is dealing with a man on both sides, because really, brothers and sisters, it is a man who is bringing an end to one time and bringing in a whole new time. And so they talk about it in the Gregorian calendar as BC and AD. But it's under the concept that the man who was to make all these changes came 2,000 years ago. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said that the mistake is that we're looking backwards, when the real man to bring about a complete change in time was not 2,000 years ago, but we're in the time of complete change right now.